guys, how's it hanging? Hello humans, we're doing a fairy tale today because so many people have been letting me know that they missed them that how could I not? Today's fairy tale is called the Rat Catcher, also commonly known as the Pied Piper. So once upon a time in the little German town called Hamel, for reasons unknown to me, the townspeople were incurring what was basically a plague of Egypt. Rats. Big, fat, black rodents of unusual size. Well, they weren't that big, but they were big, just like rat big, just flooded the town. Just kept coming for him. They wouldn't stop for nothing. Not a single thing could stop them. It got to the point where there were so many rats in the town that you'd get out of bed in your morning, you'd go to put your feet in your slippers, but they're not your slippers, those are rats. And you find yourself skating around your house on this rat as it goes running with you on its back. You get dressed, you put on your clothes, and what's that? Your pockets are full of rats. You make yourself a sandwich, you turn around to put the butter back in the fridge, and by the time you turn back, there's no sandwich on your plate, there's just a rat that ate your sandwich. But that wasn't the worst of it, alright? Because these rats, they chewed real loud with their mouths open, all up in that, all night long, every night. They're all stumping around in the walls and chewing on the rafters, making such a racket that not a single person in the town can get any sleep for weeks. So they're half starved, they're definitely exhausted. They've tried everything. They've tried cats, they've tried dogs, they've tried poison, they've tried traps. But even if they do manage to kill some of the rats, more come. They are Hydra rats. Now eventually, after being starved and sleep deprived because of these little critters, the townspeople see a stranger wander into their marketplace. And he's a weird looking dude, let me tell you. He's all up in here singing a song in French as if he's normal as French can be anyway. Oh, zing! Now I don't speak French, so you'll have to pardon me. Or pardonnez-moi. Oh, psych, maybe I do speak French. He sings, Qui vive verra, les voilà. I know that word. Les prenez des rats. That's what he sings. And it translates to, Olive shall see, this is he, the Rat Catcher. So that's gonna be fun for the rest of the video. Look forward to that. So anyway, he's a really weird looking dude. He's got like this gaunt face and he's all like over tanned and his skin's really dry and his eyes are super yellow. He's got this hooked nose and this weird like rat tail mustache. Suspiciously appropriate for the story and his self-given title, no? Or should I say, no. That's French for no. And he's wearing not a pied outfit as we've been led to believe, but he's wearing like a green jacket and a hat with a big scarlet feather in it and these like scarlet shorts that match his feather. And he's got these sandals all done up with ribbons around his legs. And what's he carrying with him? He's carrying bagpipes. This whole time we've been getting the pipe, the piper kind of pipe, piper? Nah. This is he's a bagpipist. Why were we never told? So anyway, he struts through the marketplace singing his song, all French like, and then he gets to the top and he turns his back on the church, which symbolically is probably our first sign that this isn't a great dude, and he sends word to the town council, who have been meeting this morning to try to talk about what they're gonna do about all these dang rats. Presumably all carrying at least 5 of the rats on their person and sitting on 7. There's a lot of rats. So the Piper sends word. He sends word to the town council and he says, I can take care of these rats for you, but only if you make it worth my while. I'm really not good at a French accent, you guys. Does this mean I have to try German for the German people? Oh no. I think I'm gonna skip the German accent because I'm even worse at it than the French. I'm sorry. The townsfolk, they're like, if he says that he can get rid of the rats, then he must be a sorcerer. Get him out of here. We can't trust a sorcerer. Which honestly, pretty good instincts. But the town councilman, who I assume is the head of the town council, because everyone kind of treats him that way in this story, he's like, wait. Here's where it's at though. If he is this confident that he can get rid of our rat problem, then my theory is that he sent the rats. And so the town councilman says what we've got to do is we've got to beat him at his own game. Alright, Rat Catcher Catcher, Mr. Rat Catcher, sir, if you were to do this for us, what does make it worth your while mean? How much is this gonna cost us monetarily? Well, let me see. How about we put the price at a gross ahead? I'm gonna level with you. I don't have a great understanding of how much each of these denominations is worth, so I'm just gonna say it verbatim and hope that you can work it out. What? The people say, whoa, that is going to add up to tens of thousands of florins. Tens of thousands? More! 10 million! That's gonna end up costing us over 10 million florins! Oh, 10 million florins? I really don't understand. That sounds like a lot though. It sounds like a lot. And he's like, well, if you want to live with the rats, then that's my money. And the town councilman says, guys, it's fine. Alright, we promise you, we swear that if you get rid of these rats, we will give you 1 gross per head. Excellent, says the rat catcher. I will have the rats gone before midnight passes. The people grumble a little bit because they're like, this is gonna end up costing us. Like, you're just a figure of government. Like, ultimately, we're gonna be the ones paying the taxes to pay for this rat catching service. And like, we really don't like the rats, but that's a lot of money. We're already starving. We don't want to end up in poverty as well. But the town councilman's like, yeah, I got this. And so everyone's like, all right, he's got it. Just the councilman. Trust the councilman. So that night, bagpipes at 9 o'clock. The rat catcher has told everyone, you have to stay out of the streets, everyone just watch from your windows, it will be a sight to see. And so at 9 o'clock he comes out, he starts playing his bagpipes. That's my bagpipe impression. It's enough to chase anyone out of town, let's be real. But he's playing his bagpipes and everyone's watching from the windows and all the rats in the houses suddenly perk up and look for the nearest door and they all leap out into the streets and up to the marketplace where the the bagpipist Piper, he's wearing green. Wait, does pied just mean 2 colors? Because I thought that it meant that it had to be like the pattern, like it had to be the jewel, the two-tone thing. Maybe we weren't lied to. Maybe I'm just lying to you. The Pipers, he's up at the top of the market again, turned his back on the church once more just to really drive home that we shouldn't be trusting him. And all the rats are gathering in the square, all through in between the buildings, getting as close as they can, like a flood covering the surface of the cobblestones to listen to his bagpiper sting. And he, as soon as he thinks he's got all the rats gathered around him, the rat catcher turns around and he leads the rats out of town and down to the river that runs past the walls of Hamel. He stands by the river and he stops piping for a second, hop hop, and sort of nods his head towards the center of the river, and all the rats go, aye aye sir, hop hop, and they leap into the river and they dive straight into the center where they're dragged under the water and they drown themselves. And he stands there as a steady stream of black fur in the form of these rats swarm past him for hours and hours until just at midnight it seems that the stream has finally ended and one big huge fat rat that's white and gray with age drags itself up. It's been slower than the rest of the pack because it's so big and fat, but it's also the boss rat. And the rat catcher says to this rat, "Eh, Blanchet, is that everyone, Blanchet?" I'm definitely slipping out of even the cartoonish French now. "Yes," says the white rat, "that was everyone. That's all the rats from the town. There are no more of us here." And the rat catcher says, "I need to know how many of you were there." 990,999. Well, that's a lot of rats. Yeah, we wanted to make it like an even million, but we just could not get that last 9,000, you know? So hop hop, the big rat drowns itself too, and the bagpipist, the rat catcher, heads on back to town fully content and goes to sleep in his room in the inn for that night, arriving just as the clock strikes midnight, and just as he promised, all the rats in the town were gone before midnight was finished. And for the first time in weeks, the people of Hamel had a sound night's sleep. They woke up in the morning and the pipist arrived at the town square at 9 o'clock and he said, well, I have completed my task. Where is my money, as you promised? 1 gross per head. And the town councilman comes out and he says, great, you got rid of the rats, well done. You are absolutely right. We did promise you 1 gross per head. So where are the heads? Pardonnez-moi? The heads. The heads, where are the heads of the rats? 1 gross per head, right? The rats, they're drowned. I do not have the heads. Oh, see, there's a problem. There's a problem right there. See, our contract was for 1 gross per head. So now you've broken that contract. Really, we don't have to pay you anything, but we're not going to be like that. We're reasonable people. So we'll offer you, say, 50 crowns for your service. Excuse me? 50 crowns, take it or leave it. Leave it! The rat catcher was so mad. He chooses to leave it. He spits at the ground and he says, "If you won't pay me, your heirs will." And he storms off. The townspeople are a little confused by his last statement. They're like, "Our heirs? They're like 8 years old. What they gonna pay you with? They ain't got no money." But we all know where it's going. The next day is Sunday, and while the parents are all at church, they've left their kids behind at home. But when they come back from mass, looking forward to finally actually being able to eat a meal without any rodents getting to it, they find the whole town empty. No children to be seen anywhere. Until 3 very young boys run out of one of the houses weeping. Parents ask what happened, where is everyone? And the boys say that the rat catcher returned to the marketplace while their parents were in church, and he played his bagpipes, and the music was so enchanting that all of the children hurried out to meet him in the square and listen to him play. And as he left town, he continued playing, and the children continued to follow him to keep listening to his music. He led them up and away until they reached the base of the mountain that you could see upon entering Hamel, and a doorway opened up in the stone, and the piper marched the children through, the door in the mountain closing behind them. "How on earth did you escape?" the parents cried. And the 3 boys explained that one of them couldn't keep up. He was so bow-legged that his running didn't keep up with the crowd, and he was shut out before he could enter this mysterious doorway through the mountain. Another boy explains that he'd been barefoot when the piping began, and he'd only managed to get 1 shoe on before the pipist went to leave town, and so running with only 1 shoe on, he stepped on a rock and hurt himself, and he couldn't keep up with the crowd either. Finally, Clumsy Joe says that his problem wasn't that he couldn't keep up with the crowd. He was right up there with the best of them. He was at the front of the pack, but he did miss the doorway and run headfirst into the rock face and fall over and knock himself out until the door was already closed. Good old Clumsy Joe. So the parents all grab their pitchforks and they head up to the mountain to try and find the doorway, but it's nowhere to be seen. For the rest of their lives, they make trips into the mountains searching for their lost children, but they never do find them. However, 150 years later, suddenly some merchants from Bremen, traveling back from a trip to the east, demand to speak to the people of Hamel. They say as they were traveling back, passing through Hungary, their travels took them through Transylvania, and they were struck by how strange it was traveling through these mountains, surrounded by people who only spoke Hungarian, that somehow there was a group in those mountains who spoke German and only German. When they inquired, the people in the mountains said that they were German. They were the people of Hamel, but they had no idea how they got here. They were the descendants of the children who'd been taken. Found at last, after having paid their debts or whatever. I don't know, I think it would have been neater if they were just the kids grown up and there was like a temporal thing going on too. There was a teeny tiny moment when I thought that the kids were gonna be immortal vampires because they were in Transylvania. A little part of me got my hopes up. Anyway, that's a story of why you should never deal with Fae, because even if you are smart enough to come up with a loophole in whatever contract you've verbally struck with them, they're still gonna come for you. You'll take your children. How's that for the first video of 2019? I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're having a good year. I hope that you continue to have a good year. I got a good feeling. 2019 is gonna be a good one. Apart from that, I do believe that's it. I'm done. Email this to your grandma and I'll see you some other time. Knives, knives, knives.